Accept that as far as the bilateral relationship, India-UK, our economic engagement remains vibrant, remains robust, not only because 800 Indian companies have invested here, and I take issue with the DIT when they've ranked us fourth largest investor into the UK. I think we are not the fourth, but then I'll have to sort that out with DIT, not with Grant Thornton. But I think it's very clear that the 800 odd Indian companies that are here that employ 105,000 people are doing extremely well. And you did mention that 87 companies, if I remember correctly, sort of had a growth rate of 44%. That's phenomenal. And 7 had over 100% growth rate. And that's truly astounding. Clearly shows how, Brexit or no Brexit, the UK remains a very important partner for India. And it will remain a very important partner in the future, whether it's investments, whether it's trade, or whether it's finance. And I think financial services is one area which holds great promise. And when our Prime Minister was here last week, we talked about the FinTech dialogue, very important. And I wish I could play this video that Lord Gadia and I sort of conspired at the City or at the Guildhall 3 days ago, and then I wouldn't need to speak. But unfortunately, because of my cold, I was hoping I could play that video, but I can't, because there are other issues involved, so I have to speak. But the Prime Minister's visit was extremely important because it gave a new focus to the relationship. And in terms of, everyone's talking about an FTA, but it's not just the FTA, it's the partnership that's across the board, whether it's science and technology, whether research and development, innovation, technology I've already mentioned, artificial intelligence. There are so many areas, things like cancer research, malaria research, where both the Prime Ministers went and saw the sort of cutting edge research happening at Francis Crick Institute. Now these are obviously manifestations of the very close collaborations that are happening between Indian and UK scientists. But don't forget that a lot of the UK scientists are scientists of Indian origin. So that is something that really needs to be appreciated. The Indian diaspora here, not just in terms of what they contribute, 6% of the GDP I last heard, 2% of the population, it's what they're doing across the board in various fields, whether it's sports, culture, science and technology, trade, investments, you name it, they're there. And that's something that the Prime Minister, when he visited in November 2015, emphasized, the living bridge. And that living bridge was very much apparent during the visit of the Prime Minister this time around, whether it was at the Science Museum with His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, or whether it was the Francis Crick Institute. The aspect of our bilateral relations was so obvious. And this evening, I think we are again seeing another manifestation of how Indian companies who are doing so well in the UK, and of course, and I would be remiss in not acknowledging the UK companies who are doing so well in India. I mean, till recently, UK was the largest G20 investor into India. I understand it's slipped, or that's contested. My counterpart, Sir Dominic, tells me that you haven't counted everything, and UK still remains the number one G20 investor. But be that as it may, it's number one or number two, but it is a major investor. $24.5 billion invested into India since 2000. So I think it's a fantastic track record. And somebody asked me, and I had an EU ambassador meet me today, and he was wanting to inquire about whether the Commonwealth can replace the EU as far as the UK is concerned. I won't tell you what I told him, because I see journalists sitting here. But what I did tell him is that the Indian investment into the UK is more than the combined investment of India into the rest of the EU. So that speaks volumes. I mean, for us, UK remains an important partner, an important strategic partner, and I think We have conveyed that during the visit of the Prime Minister. He has conveyed that UK will remain an important strategic partner in terms of trade, in terms of investment, in terms of science, technology, and right across the board. So I think we are very happy that India and Indian companies are doing well in the UK, and of course the UK company is doing well in India. One aspect which I thought I would emphasize, and I don't know whether the report does that, is that the partnership is also talking about a new tech alliance. And that tech alliance is extremely important because for India, when we are growing at the rate that we are growing, the fastest growing large economy in the world, soon overtaking the UK in GDP, for us, the technology that you have, that the UK has in terms of research, is something which is unbeatable, really. You have the finest institutes here, and the collaborations that you do with India will help both sides. It will be a win-win situation. And I think that's an area which was emphasized during the visit of the Prime Minister last week. And that's an area that we are very keen to collaborate, and I see that there is receptivity on the UK side. In fact, the India-UK Tech Hub will be co-located with the British High Commission in Delhi. And one will be a spoke and wheel model, and one hub will be, or a sub-hub, will be in the city of Pune in Maharashtra. So I think there are extremely exciting possibilities as you leave the European Union, and irrespective of what happens, as far as India-UK relations are concerned, I think they're going to be strong, vibrant, and robust. I'd like to conclude by thanking Grant Thornton for coming up with this tracker, India Tracker. I think it's extremely important to place in perspective what we are doing in terms of our bilateral economic engagement, and all the companies here represented here who have contributed to building the sinews of our very strong relationship. Thank you.